Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where we're going to announce our selection for the Client of the Year in the co-creation category. And then we're going to jump back for a closer look at what's really going on with gamification. RBDR is sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. We open today with the latest announcement from our 2014 RBDR Client of the Year Awards. Now, as you may know, we've decided to honor research accomplishment in specific research categories. And in the process, we hope to reveal to our regular and new viewers how some researchers are uniquely using sometimes less popular tools and techniques from their research toolbox to great effect. Today's Co-Creation Award, which is co-sponsored by KL Communications, goes out to Delta Airlines User Research Specialist Megan Rogers. KL Communications President Kevin Lonnie credits Megan's embrace of co-creation work with Delta customers to meet those travelers' needs. In fact, we're told that those efforts have produced innovative products and services for the airline. Actually, co-creation has earned impressive buy-in throughout the Delta enterprise, where Rogers has also collaborated with her researchers and internal teams in order to ensure stakeholder wish lists are actually fulfilled. And along the way, Rogers has learned that co-creation is adept in uncovering drivers of customers' behavior. We all know, and she does as well, that if you ask normally straightforward questions to customers about what they would like to see happen, the usual response is, well, give us more of the same, only better, faster, and cheaper. Rogers has learned that injecting a range of co-creation tools into customer interactions can, during different stages of innovation work, identify new solutions that address key customer drivers and pain points. So our congratulations again to Megan Rogers and Delta Airlines. Tomorrow we will turn on our Client of the Year awards to advertising research. And our January 2015 Research Business Report will feature all of the RBDR Client of the Year award winners. Moving on. Earlier this week, we announced an award to Trish Doran in the gamification category. Well, her work whetted our appetite to learn more about what's going on in the field, and today you are invited to listen in on our conversation with Insight Consulting Managing Partner Tom Ruyck. We discussed his recent intensive look at the state of gamification, which he did for Greenbook's Grit Report.
Indeed, that end clients say that 2 out of 10 of their surveys or studies are gamified. And I found that on the one hand interesting because it's rather a low number given the fact that gamification has so many benefits.
Now, you think that's a low number. I think that's an incredibly high number. 20% of all the surveys out there are being gamified. Do you really believe that?
That would indeed be beautiful, but probably the number is even less. It's probably less than 1%, and I think the reason.
How do you go from 20% to less than 1%? Because are we talking about a much larger universe of research studies out there than you guys were clued into asking about?
Yeah, I think the reason is that the people who fill out these surveys about the future of market research are probably the ones that are already slightly more innovative than the average market researcher or the average end client. So I think it's probably less than 1% of the surveys that is really gamified if you look if you just look out there. But I think the interesting bit is it's a rather low number. If it's 1 or 20, it should be more given the fact, I think, that gamification has so many benefits.
Trish Doran of JP Morgan is very big in gamification, but she's also very cautious about not going to the well too often with gamification in a single survey. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think, first of all, we need to make the distinction between qual and quant research. I think it's a lot easier and cost efficient, and maybe also more effective in qual research. In quant research, it's a little bit harder because gamifying a survey costs time, costs effort. So it needs to be worth the time, worth the effort. And I think we didn't find a way yet as an industry to make gamification in quant research really scalable. And I think that's the issue.
What might make gamification worthwhile in a quant setting?
I think there are two variables or two dimensions you need to take into account. How long is your survey? And is it a survey that is a one-timer, that is an ad hoc survey, or is it more like a tracking study? If it's a tracking study, probably it's worth the time, it's worth the effort. If it's an ad hoc study, probably it's too costly. If it's a survey that is pretty short, engagement is important, but if it's well written, probably you will be able to engage participants for just a couple of minutes. If it's a long survey, probably you will see that your data quality at the end is at the rather low end. So there it can be good to make your survey more entertaining, more engaging.
Tom, isn't the reality of the gamification situation right now as well that we are very much still in a learning mode about all the different ways to gamify that might be engaging and interesting for somebody to be involved with?
Yes, I think if you look at all the interpretations that are there of gamification, sometimes it's about the look and feel. Sometimes it's really about turning a survey into a game or into a real story, a journey that you take the participant on. Sometimes it has to do with technology and with interactive tools. So we are at the very beginning, I think, of this, and we still need to learn a lot. And I think therefore it's important that as an industry we share best practices with each other, things that have worked but also failures. I think that's really important, and we still need to learn a lot. All the good examples of gamification are more handmade, crafted for a specific audience or around a specific topic for a specific purpose. So I think scalability and automation and good gamification or good example of gamification, it's in some way or another, it's a paradox. So probably using those two dimensions, how long is your survey and will you reuse it in the future? Is it a long-term survey? Are for now good ones until we find in one way or another the holy grail of gamification.
We'd like to thank Tom for his time and his information sharing. And those of you out there who'd like to get in touch with him, his email is tomderuyck@gmail.com. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make better, more comfortable business decisions. Check out Sotech.com and look into a great research company with 20 years of outstanding contributions under its belt for its client base. Have a great research day, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.